Do you think? I mean, I'm now anticipating with a certain amount of dread in my stomach the 250th anniversary of the United States next year. But Trump is going to turn this into a Trump rally, I imagine.
Oh, of course.
He has absolutely no compunction in associating himself with the country, just as the way. And I'd love to know what you thought about this presentation by Hegseth and Trump before the generals. And I have to say, for me, that the photo of the generals' faces, just straight on, is resistance because it's not taking the bait. It is just, my God, we have a serious job to do, and this is what we've been dragged all the way back here to listen to. Basically, a little TV show to make Hegseth seem cool, and Trump instantly, of course, realized things were off. I've never heard a room this silent. Why are you can no, still nothing. That was a moment. And the other moment that I really was happy about was Jerome Powell, and this is something that probably never happens, right? That he just said he said about the construction going on for the Fed buildings. He said, well, that you're including a third building that was finished long ago. You're wrong, Mr. And the way he said it, the way his body language is, I'm not scared of this guy. This guy's a fucking moron. And you're wrong for this reasons. And, oh, for God's sake. That impatient dismissal is the only sane response to this guy. Or the other sane response is bursting out laughing at the sheer effrontery of it all.
No, absolutely.
But yet, no one does.
No one does it. Absolutely.
And even these big-ass law firms, they fucking caved. The universities, just like, where do we sign? For the most part.
Media companies in perfectly winnable, in every instance, these are winnable cases. Not only were they winnable cases, but Trump would not have sat for a deposition.
Yeah.
They fold anyway.
What is it? And this is why, because when we were talking about fashion, cults or whatever, and lots of analogies, I think you're right to say Donald Trump is Donald Trump. It's really hard to get out of that. It's all about him, and it's all about the weird psyche that's emerged and the various idées fixes that have been attached to over the years, like this goal of abolishing income tax in favor of tariffs, because we'd had that in the 1890s. So we're stuck with this. Is not going to change. This is who he is. This is who we've elected to run. Now, do you consider there to be a possibility, as I'm concerned about, that Mamdani in particular, that what Trump does and what he's always doing is itching for a fight. He's doing this currently in Portland. He wants an epic showdown, and he wants to bring in troops. He wants to redo 2020, in which the riots are going to end with tanks in the streets, putting this down forever.
Well,
so is there a possibility that he will go that far in the future?
Well, remember what he does. He is now, a feature of the Trump presidency has been sending troops into American cities. But then you have to ask, well, really, what is that about? He sends them in for to quell civil unrest, except that there is no civil unrest. So the troops get there and basically, they mill around, or they hang out in their encampments, or, when ordered, they make arrests, which are then thrown out by the courts. So nothing much happens. Trump gets to spout a law and order line, and then the governors are talking constitutional process. But it's perfect. He gets to enforce laws that are not really being broken. So it's a kind of perfect stagecraft moment, and nothing's at risk.